UFC Noche, as I said. We've got
Noche UFC.
Okay.
Is that confirmed? I'm asking you.
I don't know. Is it called Noche UFC? Perhaps, yes.
You said Noche UFC a couple times. The poster says Noche UFC.
Yeah, you're right. It
There's
is
a
Noche.
couple of hashtags, but then the UFC's official Twitter handle says hashtag UFC Noche.
No, that's
getting a touch confused. I'm going with Noche UFC.
Okay, I just want to say there's also KSW 86. There's LFA 167, one championship. Let's not forget about ACA Young Eagles. So there's a lot there. What are we looking at?
Frank will lead us off.
Yeah, so I'm gonna keep it simple. Gonna go with Tracy Cortez and Yasmin.
Jazz Divizius.
Over 2.5.
That was That's amazing. That was great. Can we do that again?
Yeah, so Tracy Cortez and Yasmin.
Jazz Divizius.
Over 2.5.
I'm not gonna lie. I heard him listening to that interview earlier, and I thought he was just trying to get the pronunciation right. I didn't realize he was gonna clip it off. Though.
Say one more.
What a drop!
Could you do it one more time? Because even there, I'd feel like I'm not saying it the right. Because she's saying Jazz Divicius, but later I think she told me that she preferred Yasidavicius because that's like the true Lithuanian way of saying
Yasmin.
it.
Jazz Divizius.
Oh my!
It just rolls right up the tongue.
So good, so good.
And what is
now?
Are you
gonna start cutting this in when Ariel's talking from now on? Or are you just gonna drop it in?
Please,
Yeah, I think so.
that is now up there with Tommy Aspinall.
It might be better.
It might be better.
The Tommy Aspinall is a great champ.
Frank, you've become Fred Norris. How do you do it so quickly?
I have my ways.
Okay. So it's just 2.5 because I thought maybe you'd be siding with the Arizona gal.
No, that's where you'd be wrong. I'm going over 2.5.
And is 1.5 available? Just out of curiosity.
Not.
Okay,
it's not available.
But it can be if you feel more comfortable with the 1.5. I'm saying.
The point is, when we're done doing our picks, we like to have a total on the show. I feel like that locks it in. So I know we're making an exception for Juliana, but that's the only exception.
Okay.
No, we'll make it for anyone. If you're more comfortable with the 1.5, we'll absolutely do that.
I'm doing 2.5. Locked in.
Lock it in.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Minus 475 on the over 2.5. That brings us to Rick.
Yeah, I'm going 1.5. I'm going to the alternate totals, and I'm going to go Alexa Grasso, Valentina Shevchenko.
Ooh, like that. Like
over
that.
1.5.
I like it too.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
In fact, do you want to trade, Rick?
That's a solid ringer right there. I think that's a good one. That's a good way to get back on track, Rick. That'll bring us to me. Last but not least, I'm going to take Raul Rosas Jr., but not money line. I'm going to take him to win by finish. Get that much better odds. Terrence Mitchell, he's not here for a long time. He's here for a good time. A lot of first-round finishes on the man's record. I would be surprised if this one goes the full 15. That gets us to plus 122.
Solid.
Gotta love it.
I do love that. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was a drop or Frank really actually said it. It felt like a.
Now you're paranoid. Though.
Someone was coming after us for like a plus 177 on 4 legs.
Bro.
People are gonna come after us for every decision we make.
Well, I was gonna say we did him one better. Plus 122 on 4 legs. How's that sound?
I offered up a parlay last week and it was a minus, and people gave me crap for it, and it didn't even hit.
I do minus parlays all the time. Who cares?
It didn't even hit. Oh my god, that is crazy. All right, what else we got as far as picks?
Yeah, let's rip them. And speaking of having fun, we're gonna have some fun this weekend. I am all over the board. Just kept firing. I actually am surprised at how many bets I ended up with. So I will keep these little breakdowns brief. If you want the long form,
love it.
You know where to find us. No Bets Barred. Let's start it off. Frankie, go ahead and hit that for me, man. Didn't even move.
What are you trying to say her name?
Jasmine.
Jazz Divizius.
Oh, well, you've gotten it down.
Yeah, that is so good because you can like hear her accent too. Oh my god, it's so.
You can almost hear her smiling.
Yes.
Either way, I mean, we're Team Stay Vicious here. If you don't know the history, she came on the show.
Right here, I got the thing right here. I got the.
We did this segment immediately following it. I picked against her. She made me to look like a fool, tweeted me as soon as she got back to the locker room. So, yeah, I'm not going to go against her. Rode her on the Miranda Maverick fight. She cashed as a huge underdog. She continues to be underrated by the bookies. I think the size is going to play a factor here. I think she can stuff the takedowns of Tracy Cortez, and I think she gets it done. Hard to go against Tracy Cortez, but we will be riding hashtag.
By the way, why is it hard to go against Tracy Cortez?
You know.
Just because?
Next up. Edgar Chairez and Daniel Lacerda da Silva. However you want to say it, Lacerda on UFC website, da Silva on Tapology and other places. Either way, I'm taking the under 1.5 here. Anytime he fights. Last time, if you were with us, CJ Vergara and Lacerda, that was just to pull your hair out. Under 1.5 misses by 90 seconds. Could have been finished a million times over. I'm ready to get hurt again. I'm going right back to the well. Da Silva, Lacerda, 14 of his 16 fights under the 1.5. Chairez, only 8 of his 15, but 12 of his 15 have not gone the distance, so he does have that finishing capabilities. I think this one is just going to be madness. Lacerda da Silva, he needs to get back on track because this is probably his last chance. 0-4 in the UFC to this point. I think this one's going to be a barn burner. Going to be really fun. Next up, Roman Kopylov. I'm going to take him inside the distance. He's getting juiced up to be like a minus 400 favorite at this point. 10 of his 11 wins come by way of knockout, and I'm getting the inside the distance at plus 100. I know Josh Fremd is tough, but I think if this thing stays standing, Kopylov's going to have a nice striking advantage in this one. So I will take him to continue his ways of getting knockouts and continue here inside the distance. Next up, Lupita Godinez. I am going to take her minus 3.5 points. I mean, Jekyll and Hyde with Lupita. Sometimes I want to trust her. Sometimes it's tough. I've bet on her. I've bet against her. This is actually going to be her 8th fight since I started on the show. She remains active anytime, anywhere, but I just think there's such a clear path to victory in this one. Elise Reed, 50% takedown defense. She's been taken down in every single one of her UFC fights, been controlled for almost 27 minutes in just 6 UFC fights. The path is there. Hopefully Lupita takes it, and I think if she does, I think she's live for a finish or a dominant decision. Now let's have some fun.
Oh, yeah.
A young man, Raul Rosas. Everyone going to tell you by submission. I'm going to zig where others zag. I'm going to take the KO just because of the price. I mean, submission is like minus 170 or something right now. I think he's just as live for a knockout. Terrence Mitchell, never been submitted. He does have a pretty solid ground game, but I do think Raul Rosas has the skill advantages to win this one. And I could absolutely see a world where he gets him to the ground, he can't submit him, and then he finishes him via ground and pound. We just saw it in the Cameron Simon fight. Terrence Mitchell, both times he has stepped up to the UFC level. He has been finished in the first round, and that's why not? An additional little sprinkle. Raul Rosas, KO round 1. Took this one at plus 1,000. Very small sprinkle. Most likely going to get the submission, but I feel good that Raul Rosas gets it done in there on Saturday night. Next up, hopefully the T-shirt does not come into play.
Oh, yeah.
But you know it. Donnie Giacomo, Jackie 3 names back in there. JDM. Tough matchup. I mean, confidence isn't through the roof on this one. Kevin Holland is a tough matchup, but ride or die with my guy Donnie G. So that's where I land on that one. No more explanation needed. To the main event.
And what are we calling that one again, by the way?
Jack Della Maddalena moneyline.
No. Like, is it the co-headline?
Oh, that's This
is a good debate right here.
That's actually great. I should have teed that one up better. I should have hit we head to the either co-main event. I say it's a co-main event.
I think it's co-main.
I think this is the perfect example of a co-main event.
Yep.
That is not primary support.
Chief support.
What
network are going with? Is there a new one? Jeez, primary.
I'm trying to keep up with the tiers. I'm trying to keep up. I need a tiers thing. All right, so the main event. This one is tricky. I mean, we know the stats. I think it's 5-12 now after Izzy beat Pereira and Nunez beat Pena. it's tough to get the belt back after it gets taken from you. Also, UFC champions in underdog fights, I believe it's 15-9-1. So the stats don't stack up for Shevchenko to get the belt back. She is 35 years old. We just saw Kamaru Usman not get the belt back after getting finished in the later rounds and then rematching. And they're not in Mexico, but it is Noche UFC. This is sort of centered around Alexa Grasso, similar to Leon Edwards in London. A lot of things not pointing well for Valentina Shevchenko, but I don't know why. I mean, it just the years of watching her, I still have faith in her to get it done. I'm not going to play her straight just because she is a favorite, but I am going to go by decision. I like this number at plus 180. Not doing a ton on it, but going back and watching the first fight, I felt like she had some success. Alexa Grasso was very tough. I think this is going to be a very close fight, and I do think if Valentina wins it, it'll be through all 5 rounds. So I'm going to go with Shevchenko by decision.
Wow.
But I won't be shocked if it's Ann Still and we get the custom belt around Alexa Grasso's waist on Saturday night. 2 quick parlays, a prop parlay.
Do you think it's fair that Shevchenko doesn't keep the custom belt if she wins?
Oh, you're saying Shevchenko gets to take the custom belt with her?
Yeah, why not? I mean,
I like it. I like it.
You like what?
That she takes the custom belt.
She should.
I mean, you're putting it on the line.
But I don't
it's
think
up there
she gets it.
day.
I don't think she gets it.
I mean, we'll see on Saturday night.
All right.
Little prop parlay like all these to not go to a decision, and then Cortez Jasdavicius over 1.5, and then had to do it in honor of it. Noche UFC, a little Mexican favorite parlay to finish us off. There it is.
Oh, wow. Are we doing this? That's great. I love that.
I mean, you got to show some love, man. You got to show some love. I'm going to get
This
some,
is what we didn't do in Vancouver, right?
Exactly. We did it in Paris, and it hit. It was like plus 430 or something in Paris. I mean, you just got to always do this at this point. Yeah. Get some nice Mexican for lunch on Saturday. Be ready to roll.
Wow. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it very much. Hey, if you like this video, give us the old thumbs up. Subscribe as well. You could get many more of these videos on the channel, so please do that. We would love you forever if you did so.